Yeah, we're doing it. It's official. Season 3. The number's even backwards right there. See, it said 1-3. But season 3, episode 1, swords. Iron and it's iron and ore, but I like swords, so I just want to say sword.
It's ultimately about swords. I mean, if you're gonna learn how to make iron,
Yeah, what are you gonna do with it?
you make a damn sword.
So is the proper sword or sword?
Sure, if you're Stewie Griffin.
It's sword.
Yeah.
It's a sword. It's what it is, everybody. It's a
Why
sword.
are you over pronouncing the W?
It's, what? What do you mean? Cool whip. So it's a sword. Yeah, I like to say sword.
Whipped cream.
It's a sword. Everybody as a kid, you always had a sword you'd run around the house with. This is a knife, but it's not really a sword. But
Sword. You just
sword.
pull a knife out of your pocket?
I did. I'm sorry. I'm from Texas.
And how is your community shirt so bright? Like mine is super faded. Do you use Tide?
I do. And then my girlfriend uses all kind of fancy magic.
Fancy magic?
Yeah, she's from Germany. They know magic.
I think I probably just wear mine more often than you.
You probably do.
I think that's all it is.
There was a stretch where I didn't wear it for a while. See, I'm a t-shirt connoisseur, so I get certain t-shirts and I love them, and then I wear them for a while, and then I hide them, and then you don't see it for like a year or 2 years, and then one day I wear it, and people are like, "Dang, I remember that shirt. Like it was a really cool shirt." It's like, yeah, it's like my Ricky Bobby shirt. Like nobody's seen this shirt for 3 years, and then one day I pull it out with the Wonder Bread, and everybody's like, "Dude, that's a cool shirt." It's like, gotcha.
Because we got this shirt on the same day.
Mm-hmm. We did that sweet tour of the community brewery.
Who, if you want to send me some mosaic, I will gladly drink that on the show.
Send a 6-pack this way too, please. I will put it on the ice and get it chilled and pop a bottle here and do a commercial.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about swords.
Swords. You know what swords are made out of?
Iron.
I mean, tons of other things, but we're talking about iron. We're talking about back in the day when all people had were sticks and rocks, and they're like, my stick is better than your rock because it's pointy and I can shoot it at you. And they're like, I'm going to take these rocks and I'm going to get really, really smart and figure it out. And while they're sitting around a campfire, getting high, drinking mosaic, they kicked a bunch of rocks into the fire and like, I don't know what to do with these rocks. And when they woke up in the morning, there was this metal. Because the rocks come from, or the metal comes from the rocks. And so you have the right rocks, you get the metal out of it, and heat is the thing that's going to get it out of there. So if the apocalypse comes, we go looking for some mountainside, some loose gravel somewhere that looks super rusty because iron exposed to oxygen rusts. So you get to find this rusty old iron that's just rust colored rocks everywhere. And that's your ore.
My aura?
Okay? Your aura.
Yeah.
Your aura. All right. So there you go. Look at that. So you got this, it looks like rust. It is rust. It's literally just metal that's in there. Like that is just metal.
So this right here, the red stuff is metal.
Yeah. Well, it's rusted metal. But that's how you would figure out which rock you needed to use to get your iron. So that's your iron ore. Okay, so that's a processed iron ore up at the top, little pellets. They've kind of got as much of the dirt out of there as they could. And what you do with that iron ore is you put it in your furnace. Okay, so that's that little furnace right over there, and you get it super hot. And the iron ore is right in the middle. And when it gets super, super hot, so they invented a bellows, something that blows, like when you blow on the fire and it expands. Yeah, you add oxygen to it because fire needs oxygen to burn hot. It melts that rock. The iron, which is metal, falls down, and the slag, all the dirt and the crap and everything else rises up. Actually, the better you are at blacksmithing, the more you know what to do with the slag. Like there were cultures and communities that were like second generation blacksmiths, because that slag became like a waste pile outside of everywhere, and they had this like huge pile of just slag outside of a blacksmith's because there was no places to take it, and so it's just nasty. But then a better blacksmith comes into town, like, give me all that slag, and they take it, turn it into a better sword. They're like, I can pull all the iron out of your waste product. So technically somebody does want that slag, because your slag, if you suck, is somebody else's treasure.
One man's slag is another man's ass ripping sword.
Yes.
This is
an ass ripping sword. Yeah. I'm gonna drink to that. All right. So the iron, liquid hot iron pours down outside of that smelter.
So liquid hot iron, not liquid hot magma.
Same thing.
Oh, same thing as magma.
Yeah, because I mean, it's still a rock. You're just going to shape the rock, and it's going to be pointy like a sword. But that's just a rock. Like if you look at it, it's just minerals. Like iron is a rock. Just you're going to reform it, so you got to get hot enough to do so.
Oh, so it's really a rock, just like diamond is a rock.
Yep, sure.
Iron is just a really fancy, pretty shaped rock that can kill people.
Damn right.
Oh, I love it. It's like Kill Bill. I'm learning about the Kill Bill shit.
All right, so you take that hot iron stuff, and you can make all kinds of different stuff with it. You can switch that around, and you can add. Are you going next? Go next.
Go next.
Yeah, go next. You think I can wing it? All right. So charcoal, which is just like burnt wood. Charcoal is the carbon that you're going to add in there. Okay, so you get iron. You melt this ore, and you get iron coming out of it. You get the slag, the waste product, and the better you are, obviously, the better your iron's going to be. And this is where you have like blacksmiths of like, oh, they're the best blacksmith this side of the Mississippi or whatever. What?
Whoa, Mississippi. To Mississippi. Charcoal. Where does that stuff come from? Because that's what we make barbecue with, right?
It's wood chips.
So this is the same stuff that we make barbecue with.
Yeah. It's always been around. Like the forest catches on fire, you go through and you get the leftover trees. Like that's charcoal. It's carbon based material. Bro, if we burned you up, we'd have charcoal remaining.
I mean, that's yeah, probably.
I mean, that'd be some.
Wouldn't it be charcoal. Ashes though? Wouldn't it be ashes?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, ashes.
Get high off those ashes. But anyway, so we add the charcoal to the iron.
Yep. So you start adding it in, and you start folding it in, just like baking a cake. Like you got this iron, this hot processed iron. Start getting the charcoal in there, and you folding it over and folding it over.
Oh, that's what this guy is doing down here.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've seen that on the thing because they have that whatever that stick thing is right there, and they stick it in the fire, and then they pull it out.
That's the sword.
That's the
iron. They've put it into a form, and so it hardens, and then they stick it in the fire so that it gets hot and soft, so that you can mash things into it,
and then make it. Hold on, come back, and then make it. Okay, so does it start off as like a ball of hot liquid
iron, yeah, and then you pour it into a form, and then when it cools, because it's not heated anymore, it's shaped. So you want to make it long and skinny, and then you form kind of a sword, and you start folding the charcoal into it to make it a more durable, dense iron that you can start sharpening. And when you sharpen it, it doesn't have holes or gaps in it, so that you can form a blade.
So picture number 2, where the sword is going into the fire, that would be this picture here.
Yeah.
That's where they're folding the charcoal into that like a marble slab?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Like ice cream with Oreos. Yep.
That's so dope. Cookies and cream sword.
Yep. And then your better blacksmiths knew how to make steel versus wrought iron or cast iron. So if you get not very much carbon in it, you're going to get a soft, bendable iron, kind of like a wrench. I know that you grab a wrench, you're like, that's not bendable, but it's compared to a sword, that is not a sturdy iron.
Yeah, you see in the movies, the swords will cut all of those things.
Correct, because they're not sturdy, they're not strong. So you start adding carbon to it, and between 0.3 and 2.2% carbon mixed in with it, that's when you get your steel. And different grades of that is going to be different grades of steel. If you add too much carbon, you get your cast iron, which is that like the cast iron stoves and pots and everything that you have that they learned to make because that was like hard stuff. So cast iron has way too much carbon in it, but it holds heat better and it's just better to cook with.
Sure does, boy. It makes some good fried chicken.
So if you've got a bad blacksmith who does not know how to make a good sword and they keep adding too much carbon, you'd be like, put that guy in the kitchen.
So did they come up with cast iron as like, oh, this is a fucked up sword, so yeah, I'll just try to make a pot out of it, and they're like, this works great. Was this just like amazing. A mistake? It's like a post-it note. It's like, this is better for cooking than it is for killing people.
This glue stuck. Look, I put it on here, and then I can move it over here. Then I can move it over here. Let's call it a post-it note because you can post it and unpost it. 3M through the roof.
We gonna make so much money in the stock market, Robin Hood.
Man,
idea that at some point a cast iron skillet could have been a sword.
It was so close to being steel.
You were this close, buddy. Every time now when I go into the kitchen and I fry chicken now, I will wield my cast iron skillet as it has the soul of a sword.
It's like the old man sword. Or if you look at like steel bridges, you see that they're not quite pretty and shiny like a hammer or a wrench or pliers. That they have a lot more carbon in it, which is going to make them super hard, which you want in a bridge. And then steel is going to be a little bit less than that, or like steel for a sword is going to be a little bit less than that. So it's a little bit more malleable, more pliable so that you can sharpen it easier. And then your tools, which have to be turned and twisted into different shapes and got the screws and the pliers and all that and the nails going through them, like that's got to be more soft so that you can do stuff with them and turn them into tools versus a sword.
So you know what? Now it makes sense when in movies you see someone with a sword just slash through an iron cable and you're like, what the hell happened? Like, now I understand. The carbon level in that steel cable is less than the carbon level in that sword.
Like bones.
Yes.
Bones are strong.
Yes, but they're not as much carbon in them as swords.
That doesn't have metal in them.
So close.
Yeah, so close.
So I'm missing wrought iron in my bones, is what you're saying. I'm missing iron. If I had iron in my bones along with the carbon, then I'd be like Wolverine.
Correct.
Fuck yeah. So if I take iron supplements, will that help me come?
I would hope so. I have no idea, so I'm going to say yes.
You heard it, kids. Don't try this at home.
Try it at home. But you didn't hear it here.
You didn't hear it.
Because I don't actually know.
Tell your mom you're trying to increase your iron intake and you need to eat steak every day.
And change your name to Logan.
Logan! And get a badass haircut. Look, that like, you know, it's so amazing that every time that I watch this show, and if you want to follow us, you can feel free to go down there to the odlexperience.com. Go through there, go check out that website, all that goodness. But every time we do this show, I end up learning something, and it's just a little bit. It's just enough information that it sparks education. You know, it's like, and then not only that, but it also makes me sound very intelligent when I'm drinking with friends and they're like, yeah this is the strongest metal they got. And I'm like, that's a hammer.
A cast iron skillet's going to be a lot more heavier duty than that.
Yeah, your hammer really ain't shit, homie. Your wife's got a bigger hammer than you do right now. So
You are going to replace Google one day, my friend.
you can Omie it and find the answer. Is it what?
Oh, let me OBD that real quick.
Yeah, I would love to be a household name, and so just you learning so much. Just I'm just like this show is the best show on the internet. Like I said, look,
I imagine if we had so many episodes and taught so many things that somebody like, oh, I don't know if that's accurate. Let me OMD it real quick and
yeah,
watch an episode.
let me check the OMD. Look, let's go to YouTube and let's check out OMD's channel and let's check out the ODL experience because they just did a new episode about smart toilets. Look, well, okay, we're gonna wrap this show up. It's been a great show. I learned that you need charcoal to make a very strong sword. I also learned that the cast iron skillet once was a sword. So basically, anyone that's cooking with cast iron is a ninja,
Yeah,
according to
samurai. Yep.
a samurai. You know,
Hmm.
you're a bad motherfucker, as the
Hmm.
Wallace said. And
Hmm.
so, tell the people that are watching what was your favorite episode from the previous two seasons. Since this is episode 1 from season 3, what was your favorite episode from 2 and 1?
I really enjoyed coffee. Like I liked talking about coffee. I got super excited about it. I really feel like when I watched the episode back, there was so much more that I wanted to talk about, and I feel like we had some people that enjoyed that. Like I don't know, that was fun. I felt like I could really recommend it to people.
Coffee was a really good episode. I was a big fan. It actually brought me closer to coffee
Hmm.
as a person, and I'm pretty sure Starbucks loves that. I'm gonna say my favorite episode was the religious history episode.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we discovered that Jesus had a middle name.
Yeah, facts.
Who knew?
Hard facts.
Who
Yep.
knew?
And
Hard fact.
it was etched on the walls of the Egyptian uh, pyramids where slaves learned to write the alphabet.
You say, "Hey, here comes Craig." Everybody with their
Yep.
hands up. That means they're happy. So
Yep.
if you want to learn about hieroglyphics or learn to read hieroglyphics as well as I am, which
Alphabet.
I'm a level 25 hieroglyphic reader. I don't
He
even know
still
what
hasn't figured out the Z yet. Like
the,
he's gotten almost all the way through the alphabet. He's on 25. Z's next. We'll see what happens.
it's gonna be a rough transition, but
Hey,
we'll
what's
get
our
it.
next episode? We doing this? Like
Yeah,
we talked about if we're gonna do it. We're doing this. What's
we're
next?
going in. Let's salt.
Deal.
We're going next episode is salt. The next episode will air. Look, if you're watching it right now, you're privy to something on YouTube that you're not going to be privy to next time.
Hmm.
You have to be a follower on the Twitch. So go to
Oh,
the
we're live.
yeah, we're live. We're live right now. There are people watching. Say hi, people.
Are you going to be able to cut out that thing I said about the.
Yeah, you can cut. I can cut all that out.
Cool.
They didn't even hear that about that person that we were talking about. That
Okay,
word.
good. I do not want anybody to watch this back and hear me say that.
We would definitely lose all kind of sponsorship from Community Brewery if they
Mhm.
wanted to send us some beer.
Yeah, cut that out. I would have never said that if I knew you were recording because when I put these headphones on, I do not expect you to record stuff.
Nothing. We never. Why would we record?
Surprised every time.
That's
Shocked.
ridiculous. I thought this was a long distance phone call. So look, we'll catch you guys and gals on the 11th of March. Make sure you go to the YouTube page down there at the bottom. Check us out. Come back, damn it. Come back. And then we will be back with another hot episode. Always make sure you check everything out. I've had a great time. You out of alcohol?
Oh, I can fix it.
Oh, we will. We'll catch everybody later. It's been a fun Thursday. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do the count out. I like the count out. Bye, people.